Another week here at Jefferson's in the Coach Joel Taylor Show. So excited to be back and homecoming. It's always fun when it's homecoming week for the West Georgia Wolves. The Shorter Hawks looming this Saturday, Coach. But first, as we always do, we always recap the week before. And, man, if you didn't get to go to the game and enjoy the striped field, you watched it on ESPN Plus, and, man, what a great game it was. Came up one play short there at the end, Coach, and just so proud of the way that our team fought. I mean, they got down 34-10, and I think a lot of people would have thought, well, we're playing the number 12 team in the country at their place. They got the number 2 offense in FCS football now. We're just tuck it in and go on home. But you guys didn't do that, and just so proud of your team.
Yeah, man. For us to come back down 24 was huge, and there was a lot of growth in our team. But it was so exciting to see those guys come together. Offense is pushing the defense pushing the offense. It was really, really good, man. It really was, man. And it was a pretty cool experience up there at Central Arkansas playing on that field. The field wasn't great as far as our traction. You seen a lot of guys slipping. But it was a good game. Came up a little bit short. I'm about tired of that, So we gotta overcome that, man. But it was a good game going against Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas was picked to win the league, and they're a good football team. They were number 1 in offense in our conference, and they were number 1 defense in our conference. So, for us to come out there and put up some points and also put up some yards, I think we were 550 plus, and defensively we held them to 361 yards, and they got one play was for 81 yards, and we had them wrapped up. So coming out that game, you feel pretty good. You feel like you got better. As a defense, you feel like you got better as an offense, and we got some points on the board, which was key for us. But like I said, we came up a little bit short, but we got to do a better job of not making those mistakes early on. You talking about the first drive, we come out the blocks, and we're gonna kick a field goal, but we had that Bryce wasn't set. And Bryce would have caught a touchdown right there, so we had to bring it back, and then we had to settle for his field goal. Next drive, we're driving, and we're inside, the 50, and we get a holding call, and that pushes us back to like the 34. And right there, I wasn't sure to try to kick the field goal. I knew that was kind of out of chances range a little bit, but we actually punted, and it was only for 16 yards because now I was trying to play the field position battle. So those things right there, man, it should have been 14-0 there. And then we get the fumble, and then they eventually go down and score. We kind of blown the coverage just a little bit there, got inside of us, and then you talk about we muffed the punt. So it was like, man, it was like bang, 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 but we gave them 14 points there, I thought, and then we threw the bad interception at the end of the half, which was tough right there, because you're thinking at minimum, you're going to go in, 14-13 at minimum, but you had a chance of going with the lead if we scored down there. But coming out of the second half, we gave up those 2 scores. But our kids didn't flinch. You see them just kind of come together, which was awesome. It really was. And then we started getting on the run. I told the guys, when they scored that second touchdown, I said, hey guys, it's still 11 minutes on the dang on clock, and we only in the third quarter. So we got time. We just got to dang on stop them and stop and get the ball back to the offense. And the offense did a heck of a job, man. You seen Dylan Gary and Quincy, and that connection is excellent, man. I was looking at it today. Quincy's thrown 5 touchdowns to Dylan, and he got 6. So that connection is pretty cool to see.
Well, I know for the defensive side, I think it's probably a little bit harder. You can open the offensive playbook and be more aggressive when you're down 34-10, but when you're trying to mount a comeback, defense, they want to run the football.
Yeah, man.
And what did y'all do? You stopped the number 1 running back in FCS football over and over and over. What was it like just continuing to get stops and stops and stops there in the second half?
It was huge, man. It was huge. In the first half, we had some opportunities to get some turnovers. I don't know if you've seen some of them tip balls, man. I was like, oh my God. We're right there to get those takeaways, to change the momentum and things of that nature, man. But, we knew we had to stop the run game first half and second half. They were a really good football team. They had 2 really good backs. The offensive line is solid, and they run the football, man. That's what they do, and our kids knew that. We loaded the box up a little bit and kind of got after them, man. And, after the game, their head guy said, hey, y'all by far the best defense we've played in a long time. So, when a head coach says that, man, it means a lot. But it's just credit to our young men and our kids, man. They want to continue to get better. They continue to want to compete every single day. I love our defense, man. It doesn't matter if we're up, we're down, turnover here, turnover there. Those guys just love going out there playing football.
One of the coolest things that we saw on Saturday was the punt by you guys, us, and hit off the leg of the Central Arkansas guy, and I just kind of nonchalantly got called down. So what was going through y'all's mind, and y'all were able to take advantage and get a score right there?
Yeah. So when it happened, I really didn't see it. Right, I
don't think anybody saw it except for the replay guy.
Yeah, but the kids seen it. The kids was like,
Okay,
Coach, he hit it. He hit him. I said, y'all sure? So I went up to the ref. I said, hey, now I may want to try to challenge this thing. And the thing about the replay, right? This is crazy right here. So replay always replays each play for the most part, a close play like that. And sure enough, we get it right, and the next play replay went down. So I thought we was really living right. Honestly, I said that happened. I said, guys, we are winning this game. Like, that's the first time something kind of went our way, and that was kind of cool.
Well, you talked offensively a little bit already about Quincy Case. He had to come in there in the second quarter, and I mean, yes, he threw the bad pick six before before the half, but how did he came back and just kind of rallied the troops? I mean, helps when you got guys like Dylan Gary and Carmelo English, but the offensive line also held up too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they did a really good job. Early on, I mean, Davin was doing really good, man. I think he was 10 of 18 for 118 yards, but he took a bad hit. Kind of hit his head on the ground, so he didn't look right. And we wanted to kind of get a little spark in there, and Quincy gave us that spark. O-line did a really good job. I thought our offensive coordinator Dane Stevens did a really good job of kind of neutralizing number 8. He did not have a sack for us versus us. So I thought that was really, really good. And like you said, Quincy just connected on those guys, just finding that spark to continue to, move us down the field and put some points on the board, which was huge for us. Last, I guess, 4 games, I would say 4 or 5 games, we didn't score over 17 points. So for us today, going to really break through and get 33 points was huge. Putting that ball in the box.
Well, we'll wrap up Central Arkansas now. I know you're good to be home. You didn't get home till 7:30? You said the next morning.
7:30 a.m.
That's no fun. That is no fun, especially when you got already distractions with homecoming this week and getting ready for another game on Saturday. But we'll talk shorter Hawks coming up here in just a moment. But we're actually about to talk to one of our own players, Malachi Williams, starting defensive back for the West Georgia Wolves. Right after this at Jefferson's Restaurant here in Carrollton on the Joel Taylor Show. All right, welcome back into Jefferson's, everyone. The Coach Joel Taylor Show. This, however, is defensive back Malachi Williams, starting defensive back for us. And Malachi, it's good to have you. We had you earlier in the year on the Player Spotlight segment, learned a lot about you then. But for those who didn't get to hear that segment, want to give you a chance to kind of introduce yourself. And West Coast kid.
Yes,
so
sir.
Talk a little bit about the West Coast and finding your way to Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams.
So if you don't know me, my name is Malachi Williams, born and raised in San Diego, California. Loved it there. West Coast kid, 70 degrees year-round, so not many problems with the weather. But
So you got a jacket on tonight.
yeah, it's a little bit chilly, a little something I'm not really used to, but, got to come prepared. But, yeah, loved it out there. Before I came here, I was at Northern Arizona University up in Flagstaff, Arizona. Spent 2.5, 3 years of my college time out there, and then got out here to West Georgia in January.
And you're part of a crew. There's like 6 of y'all from Northern Arizona, so a pretty close pack of you guys on the team.
Yeah, little package deal.
This year's. You played on a really good high school football program. What was it like? You kind of went through the COVID stuff too. I want people to understand. You only got to play 3 games, 4 games, something like that. Your senior year of high school.
Yeah. So. My high school, I went to Cathedral Catholic High School, rolled on. Shout out Coach Doyle and the whole coaching staff.
Which is a big-time program, top 25 nationally ranked at points.
They might be right now. Yeah, they just last Friday, they just beat the city champs in dominating fashion, 52-6 or something like that. But not really to hear the boast on them. But love them guys. It was great being in that program. Taught me a lot on and off the field. Coach Doyle and his staff, they do a great job of preparing you for life in football and life outside of football. So love and always got respect for those guys.
Here at West Georgia, Malachi, you're one of our top tacklers and have been a leader on the field. What's it been like playing with these guys week in, week out? You guys have continued to improve each week to give the offense and the team a good chance to win.
This has been great. I think the biggest thing for us has been the growth we've had since game one all the way up till now. We just continue to grow as a defense, continue to trust in each other, and it's been amazing to see over the past couple of games. And in this later half of the season, just can't wait to see what we can do. Hopefully force more turnovers, get some more big plays going. But as a defense, it's been great to see how everybody's grown and really trusted in each other.
Well, moving on to this week, homecoming. Being in Carrollton, homecoming's a special thing here at West Georgia. What are you most looking forward to about this homecoming Saturday?
Really just the support from all the alumni, the community as well. Like I said, like first year going D1, and I know the alumni that were here before me put in a lot of work for them just to get to this point. So really excited for them to get to see us and get to watch us, and just the support from everybody in Carrollton.
From this past week in Central Arkansas, you individually once again had a great game. You got down 34-10. What was the mindset of the defense, knowing that, hey, we can continue to get a couple of stops, give our offense a chance? What was Coach Taylor and the defensive staff kind of preaching to you guys during that second half? Just
do your job, focus on the play that we're playing. And I think, like I said earlier, just really trusting in each other. If you watch the game, you can see we were really making big plays. Unfortunately, we didn't get any turnovers, but tipped balls, tackles in the backfield. And I mean, stopping the number one offense like that in the conference, I
think it's almost more impressive that y'all were able to come back without the turnovers and the takeaways and those kind of plays. To be honest,
and it's just a shout out to our offense. I mean, they played, I want to say, over 90 snaps in the game and
96 plays. You're exactly right.
I mean, they kept themselves off the field, kept scoring, and we kept getting stopped. So like Coach Taylor said earlier, we were really bought in and came together as a team, and it showed. Like,
we put Davin on the spot last week. We gave you a heads up. You got us a good Coach Taylor story for us so far since your time on campus?
Yeah, I think my favorite Coach Taylor story, and he could attest to this too, but I don't remember what I exactly was, but I had a big play during the spring. And Coach Taylor was like, that's a great play, but he rewinded the clip all the way to the beginning, and I had crossed over my feet. He's like, this would be even a bigger play if you just don't cross your feet, you take proper steps. But I really love him for it. He's always hard on me, no matter how good I'm doing. Just make sure I'm trying to do the right thing and helping me make the plays I've been making this past season.
What will it take for you guys to beat Shorter this upcoming Saturday?
Everybody. We talked about it earlier today. We need everybody just to have the energy we had on the sidelines we did this past weekend, and we're trying to get everybody to play, so we need everybody.
Malachi, we appreciate your time, man. Great work.
Appreciate you having me.
All right, yes, absolutely. When we come back, we'll take some fan questions for Coach Joel Taylor and get a look ahead to the game against Shorter on Saturday, right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back in here at Jefferson's Restaurant. We appreciate the fine folks here for taking care of us each and every week and being here. Coach Taylor, for our final segment, we get to talk to the fans, and the fans get to ask Coach Taylor some questions. So we'll start out that segment with, I think, a question in the back. Oh, nope. Question right here in the front.
Hey, Coach. So sometimes teams we know can get into a mentality of they look ahead to the team they're facing that week and they can say, oh, this is going to be an easy W. This is going to be an easy win. And I think we've been kind of on the opposite end of that, in my honest opinion, a couple of times this season already, where we probably went into someone's house and they thought we were going to be an easy win, and we weren't. So what do you do to kind of combat that mentality of the team to make sure that they are not thinking that way and that they're ready to put their full effort out on the field?
Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard of Nick Saban talking about the rat poison. We can't fall for the rat poison, but I just think it's about preparation. It doesn't matter, who you facing. The goal is to go 1-0, right? Also, like, it doesn't matter what our record is. We can be 5-1, we can be 1-5, we can be 6-0. It doesn't matter. The next week, you got to play your butts off. You're going to try to go 1-0. No different than Alabama. Like, I don't know, I'm talking about Nick Saban, but Alabama. They overlooked a little bit of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a good football team, and they probably looked at their record and said, hey, we can beat them. I mean, you got to play every week, and it does not matter, if you're playing a Division II, Division I, FBS, whatever it is, you got to try to go 1-0 each week and just got to do a great job with your preparation.
Humility is a week away.
Yes.
That's what they say.
Yes.
Hold up.
Well, I'm not good with microphones, but Coach, we had Malachi up here, and I'd really like to hear how you teach the corners to be competitive against the receivers. Now, I can't tell what's pass interference, what's offensive pass interference. So what do you teach our guys to be able to handle the full throttle passing game that's part of the game today?
Yeah, I tell you this, I don't coach the corners anymore. Coach Calhoun does, but I am a DB guy, and the first thing, I always like to teach you. I like to teach top down, right? You never want to give up the deep ball, ever. So we want to teach top down, don't give up the deep ball, and then now we're going to be competitive on all the routes. Everything nowadays, I guess a lot of it is in the passing game, and most of your pass interference calls come from the deep balls most of the time. And what happens is I think you got to play proper technique, and when you're talking about proper technique, a lot of guys, what they want to do is they want to look back for the ball and not be in proper position. So it's all about positioning. We always talk about being in phase and out of phase. If you're out of phase, you probably want to go a little bit more chest to chest, play through the hands. If you're in phase, then now you want to lock and lean and go get the football. So sometimes, with DBs, they want to make the play so bad, then they overthink it. They kind of get all tense, and then bang, they don't trust their technique, they don't trust their fundamentals, and I think that's what happens with pass interference. And then at the end of the day, pass interference is also a judgment call with the ref. But I think you have to do a great job of playing with proper technique and not panicking when the ball's in the air.
Anybody else got a question for Coach Joel Taylor before we talk about the Shorter Hawks this week? All right. Well, let's talk Shorter, Coach. Last year, I don't even want to talk about last year, but last year we played on a Thursday night, and it was just we drug. This year, a little bit different. We're obviously elevated D1. Shorter's independent this year, coming in for homecoming. A lot of distractions with homecoming usually with all the different things going around campus. What are we doing to kind of keep the guys grounded, and especially after kind of a short week, they didn't get back till 7:30 Sunday?
Well, I think it's going to be easy. We want to go 1-0. We want to go and get that victory, and we're not going to let anything deter us from getting that victory at the end of the day. We've played a tough early on schedule, and I think Shorter, OGSC opponent, in-state, they'll be fired up to come down here and beat us, because we're Division I, and they see 1-5 by our name, So they're going to come in here with everything they got. So our guys better be ready. They better be ready, and I think they will be. Because at the end of the day, I told the guys before, man, I said, somebody got to feel our pain. And that's going to be the next opponent, whoever it is. If it was Shorter, Georgia, whatever it is, somebody got to feel our pain. And, like I said, I know it's homecoming, but I like it. I like that it's homecoming. I really do, right? Because now we're going to have, alumni here, families here, and all that, the community going to be behind us, and all that matters when you're talking about energy, when you're talking about momentum, you're talking about all those type of things. And that's plays such a huge part in our kids playing well. So I'm excited that it is homecoming. I'm excited that we're back home and playing, and we get a chance to do this thing 4 times in a row.
Yeah, four straight home games. Starts this Saturday against the Hawks. But Coach Morrison's has done a good job at Shorter trying to get that program back. And I know one thing from seeing them in the past, and I'll let you talk about their offense now, but they want to get the ball out quick, and they like using the tight end. At least that's what they have done in the past. What have you seen so far this year on film for them?
So you using there watching film with me today? Yeah, man. Coach Morris, man, I've known him for a while, man. I think he does a really good job. Shorter, I've always been impressed by them developing talent. You've seen at least 2, 3, 4 kids leave their program in the last 2 years and go FBS and actually play. So they do a really good job of evaluating talent and developing it. So they'll have some dang on key guys. But Shorter, they are offensively, they're open. They want to get the ball out, like you said. I call it 4 open. You're just out of 2x2, 3x1. They want to get the ball, out of the quarterback's hand quick with the quick game, some hitches, some slants, some quick game concepts, man. As far as in the run game, they got some zone schemes. We'll counter a little bit. We're getting that 11 stuff, some counter old wide stuff, man. So they do a solid job on offense. They don't move a lot. It seems like all the offenses nowadays are, out of shifting, motioning, do all that crazy stuff. They kind of don't move a lot. They feel comfortable of what they're doing. Give their quarterback some easy reads. Now they got 2 quarterbacks. You got number 7, you got number 17. 17 is probably more of the runner, and number 7 is probably more of the passer. So we got our work cut out for us. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it was Shorter, don't matter who it is. We got to do our job. We got to, play disciplined football. We got to fly around, put our hat in the ball, and like I said, we got to try to create some more turnovers on the defense side of the ball.
What about for their defense? What have you seen out of them so far this season?
Yeah, predominantly a one-high team, some cover 3, some cover 1. We'll get into some quarter stuff if they have to. They're a 4-down look, so more of a 4-2-5 as far as defensive structure. I think they struggled a little bit last game, but they got two wins under their belt. So they've been doing a decent job of kind of stopping people, keeping people in front of them. I think if I had to give them a strength, I think the interior D-line is probably their strength on the defense. Got some solid players on each level, but like I said, our offense got their work cut out for us, but they got their work cut out for them too. Our offense is pretty good. When they get rolling, we're going to go fast, get the ball out to our playmaker hands, and run the football. So they got their hands full too.
You mentioned 4-2-5, right? And for those who may not know, that's 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. From an analytical standpoint, or however, I'll give you one of these deep dive questions for you. Do you kind of have to have 5 defensive backs on the field in college football today to be successful?
Yes.
Can you get away with 3 linebackers anymore?
Yeah, no, you can,
they
right?
Can run.
Yeah, but you're going to be very limited in what you do. Having 5 defensive backs, and really, it's the nickel. It's the nickel. He's probably the most important guy, and that guy is the old Sam Backer. So that nickel is really important because if he can do a lot of different things, then you can do a lot of different things. As far as hiding your coverages, blitzing him, playing zone, rotating your coverage. The biggest thing when I say 4-2-5 as well, we're a 4-2-5 predominantly, but we are a 3-3-5 personnel team where we take the third linebacker and walk that guy up. But it allows us to be very, very multiple in what we do. We can show 3 down. We can show a 3-4 look, 3-3-5 look, 4-2-5 look, 4-3 look, 6-1 look. We can do a lot of different things by having those guys. So if you ever, looking at a team, if they got a nickel and they got a stand-up end that can drop and do those type of things, then they can do a lot of things as far as defensively.
I appreciate that. I've always wanted, opinion-wise, I think you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes,
the way college football is, everybody wants to throw the football. You got to have guys that can cover. Give a message to the fans, if you will, here. Could get them to come out. There's no excuses. You get a chance to come watch your team play. They're home the next month. You're home the next month.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses. Pick a day. Start this Saturday and come out and watch your football team.
Man, this is going to be a great game. Great game, right? And what I mean by a great game, first off, you got homecoming, right? So homecoming is always, a game that you want to be at, a lot of festivities that's going to be going on all week long. But it's also a great game. Like I said, we're playing a in-state foe. You got, Rome, Georgia is about an hour away from here. So I think they'll bring some fans down as well. But we're going to need our fans. At the end of the day, we want to try to make a run here. We want to go 1-0, but we want to try to make a run here and try to finish with a winning football season at the end of the day. So our kids are excited to get back home and play in front of the crowd, and we need the crowd. They're so important to the momentum, to the energy, and how our kids go out there and play. Because I hope everybody's been watching the games, right, and not watching the newspaper and seeing that we're 1-5. This is a football team that loves to play football. They love to play for each other. They've been fighting. We've been in every single game, and that's the type of team that I'm going to be proud of, right? And I know Carrollton is a football town, man. You got Carrollton High, you got Central Carrollton, you got Villa Rica right up the road, you got Bowden. This is a football town, and you got your own team in the backyard. So come on out, check us out. Love to have you, and we need you.
Well, you heard them. Get on out here. Wolf Walk at 11:45. Come and meet the team. Lead them into the locker room, and then we'll have all the festivities going until 2 o'clock. A 2:02 kickoff.
There it is.
2:02 kickoff. So look forward to that coming up on Saturday. Homecoming against the Shorter Hawks. Coach Taylor, always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Make sure you come out and join us next Monday. Have a great week.